up for a little while, but it is now 5:36 a.m. my time in Arizona, and I was just watching something that was talking about how the brain is always moving, but the body is still, and that sometimes think about that as I just think of it as I'm just being lazy today. I don't want to move, but the brain is still going and going and going, like the Duracell battery. But last night, I did a live. Z was showing me how to do it and use it, and I was like, I want to try to do this a little more. Like now, it's 5 in the morning, and I can put it on this little avatar here and move her around and do my video this way and get dressed or prepare my food for today. Today is Sunday, but it's my Friday um, at work in the workplace environment. But um, I had did a short and I didn't put it up the other day. Um, as I Today's video, I'm thinking about extremists and how do we become extreme in our beliefs. And the climate of our society today is like so extreme with the politics or religion or um, things like that. And I had did a video the other day where someone tried to bring their political beliefs onto as a comment to like lure me in to say I'm on, their side and, because they're so radical or whatever. And I cursed them out, said, but I did a video about it. They was like, I was just trolling, and I was like, it's okay. I gave them a heart, responded with a heart. But so last night they come up to me and they was like, are you still mad at me? I was like, I was never mad at you, but do understand you approach me and you're gonna try to say something to me that I don't agree with. Don't think that I'm not going to come back at you and say what I really feel. So this is, just dealing with people in general, especially in the workplace environment. I mean, you got workplace, you got family, you got neighbors. And I understand the concept of just cut them off, just cutting people off left and right. Get the scissors out, get the axe out, just start chopping and cutting. But sometimes you just have to know. That's why I'm so glad about learning different behaviors and personalities and, narcissism, narcissistic, all this other stuff. Um, it helps with dealing with people. You just can't cut people off. You have things to do, especially in the workplace, also with family members that you choose to continue to communicate and deal with, even though it may be at a distance. But learning these personalities and behaviors and how to navigate through them is so, so important. So the short video I was getting ready to talk about is I had put up a video. I forgot. Let me see. And while I was waiting for it to export, I had watched the video that morning, my morning when I woke up. from Dr. Ramani, and she was talking about a series called The Bear or something like that, right? And I was like, lo and behold, when I'm waiting on that video I did, I can't recall the topic I did right now. I don't know if it was random thoughts or whatever. I think it was one of my last videos. And as it was exporting, it was a short that was talking about the screenwriter of The Bear was arrested just from sitting on. He was sitting on the train, on the metro train, and there was a white woman in front of him or sitting by him or something, and said, "Stop sitting like that." And he didn't listen to the white woman say that, and so they had the police come. I don't know if the conductor called or the person that she was with called, and they arrested him and let him go once that train drove off, so he can get on a different train. I was like, oh my goodness, that was just totally ridiculous, totally ridiculous, you know. And then something else happened where I was talking with someone. Now it's like people are starting to be more, in my opinion, in my surroundings, in my little bubble surroundings, people are being more open with talking about race relations, the opposite of whom they are, um, as far as color, race, and things of that nature. Um, and just talking about it like in curiosity or in jokes or things of that nature. So right after that, that same day, later on that night, um, somebody was laughing with me, and I was like, "Yeah, we real cool." I said, "We can laugh and joke with one another, but I know when certain topics come up." And somebody was explaining to me how you don't engage at all. You get up, you go away. And he was like, "Yeah, you think I'm a Klan." Oh, no, he said, "You think I'm a skinhead or something like that." And I was like, "I do." He said, "I don't know why you think I'm like that." And I said, I truly believe that, but that has nothing to do with, you notice that we communicate very well. We laugh, we joke, we get the work done, this and that, or whatever. And we laughed it off, we laughed about it, but I was honest about it. Yes, I do feel this way about you being, I call it clan or whatever. And I didn't use the word prejudice or racist or anything, but so we laughed it off, and they was like, I don't know why you think that way. I'm not really that way. And I was like, no matter what you say, I watch your actions. I see how you operate and think, and that's just what I believe. And so they was like, well, this is their, how they joked it off. And before they walked away, and it was like, well, the only thing I want to know is what political party you are in something else. And I just cracked up laughing, like, get the world, get out of here, just get out of here. Because they know that I don't, discuss those type of things, or I'm not that, type of person to sit there, especially in the workplace environment, and talk about religion, politics, um, money, or things of that nature. I mean, it's crazy, but it's a good feeling to be able to work with people from all different backgrounds, and come together with genuine, um, think my headphones are getting ready to go off, and I don't know. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Let me put this up. All right, this is just going to be, hopefully it still records because I put the headphones up and now I'm still talking. So we shall see. If not, I'll just delete it. Um, just to be able to talk and communicate with so many people from different backgrounds. Now, the real conflict comes with those that either they have different backgrounds or not, but it's, the difficult people that's a whole nother story. When you're dealing with like serious psychopaths, sociopaths, people that are complain all the time and um, fuss and cuss and label everybody as dumb, label everybody as incompetent, and saying this person don't know um, anything, or like to say they're unqualified or this and that or whatever. They just complain all the time. But those are your difficult people, and sometimes yes, you have to grab out the scissors and start chopping, and you find people that you can get things done with that do the same duties as those people or in the same title, um, so you can get things done, and or you just gotta figure it out, because some people you just can't come together with to bring harmony and get things done. But so let me get into this here. I feel as though this is like so powerful and really deeply important, to understand like extreme behaviors, especially those that evolve into extremists, um, like requiring compassion, curiosity, and courage. So I wanted to break it down into the who, what, when, why, where, and how, and maybe some possible solutions of how to train the mind and break the habit of harmful extremism. So I can look into myself and say, uh, do I have any of these extreme behaviors? I'm sure I do. Um, and when I'm dealing with other people, how to deal with it and recognize it so that I can get along with other people and get things done in a positive manner, you know. And so, I gotta say hi here. Hi, Samira. um, so who becomes extreme? I have here is anyone can be vulnerable, regardless of their age, background, or education. And often it's people who feel like disconnected, um, disempowered, or deeply hurt. Those that have been like really hurt in their past or present. Um, these type of people, and this is so true. You could see it in their behaviors when you working with them, or side by side dealing with them. They may be seeking like belonging, or I need to belong in the group, or I need to be accepted, and have an identity or purpose. So I have here, it says, what is extreme behavior? Extreme behaviors are actions or beliefs that go beyond
what society tells us to do. Or it's like really, really, you're seeing it now today in the political area. It's like, to me, my personal opinion is disgusting. It involves like rigid thinking, intolerance, or violence. Yep. And it can be religious, political, or personal. It becomes extremism, that word extremism, when it causes harm, it like dismisses or exclude others, or justifies their cruelty. Like, I can be mean to you, I can um, inflict violence upon you, I can have injustice towards you, and they always will justify that type of meanness, that type of horrible behavior, or horrible ways of thinking about other people that don't look like them, walk like them, talk like them, act like them, think like them. When does it happen? Often during times of crisis, when something really bad has happened, or they have lost a loved one, or lost someone that has been close to them, or even during like military, losing battle buddies and things of that nature, or when you transitioning from one place to another, or going from being um, having a roof over your head to no roof over your head, things of that nature. So also it can happen when someone feels as though no one listens to them. They feel invalidated or powerless, you know. It can also build gradually through time, through echo chambers or reinforced narratives. Listening to people talk about and discuss certain politics, religion, or things over and over and over again. So, where does it happen? It happens online, for sure, social media forums, and radical content. Um, you know, those that are constantly saying something bad about one party against the other party, one religion against the other religion, one race against the other race, color against color, just those type of things. It also, can happen in communities. In dealing with extremism, you notice there's always a lot of fear, trying to make you scared, a lot of anger, um, or like when they just have trauma that goes untaken care of, like, never went to get healed for it, never went to look at themselves for the trauma um, that they may have been going through. Why does this happen? It's like their unmet emotional needs, which is like love, being safe, and recognition. Like earlier, someone else was talking about that inner child deal, and how to, let the inner child in you know you're safe, it's okay, you know. Just like I mentioned in the beginning, it's, saying that the brain is constantly going and going and going and going, and but the body isn't moving. So you get start to recognize within yourself and say, okay, look, you safe. There's safety here, there's love here. Put your hand over your heart, and love, there's love here. um so it's like, also it happens because it's black and white thinking is what they call it. I call it my way or the highway type thinking, and always blaming somebody for what's happening. Um, you know, Depending on what they are extreme about, they just want to blame others of any problems that come in between that. Um, a lot of times, that group thinking, trying to be a part of the group, trying to be like everybody else, that peer pressure, um, like gotta feel like a leader, and just being involved in that group think is, getting in the boxes is what I don't do, is what I call it. Um, so, how does it manifest? I'm still reading this here, is by verbal aggression, isolation, conspiracy thinking, us versus them mentality. That is getting so, to me personally, my perspective, to me is getting so sickening, having that us versus them mentality, um, that like dehumanizing language, like, um, I'm messing that up right now because I was thinking about the guy on the news that was saying how you need to unalive those that are homeless, like just take them out. It's non-human language about other people. Refuse to listen, and you're justifying the harm that you could see other people in, or justifying, um, uh, I don't know how to explain that, but it's just so horrible to me to, that's just me. I don't think like that. And I feel really bad when others, to hear others think like that about other people. It's like, well, who gives you that right? Why are you even here living to talk about taking out somebody else, because they don't look like you, walk like you, talk like you, act like you, think like you, you know? I don't know. But also, they can, um, continue to be this way and mask it as righteousness or defense or truth telling. So they can say, "This is my truth," and there's a big difference than people that are really telling the truth, and as opposed to those that say, "This is my truth." You know how they take the words of other people and try to put it into their narrative, or how they, um, want to, want someone to see like their extremism. They're trying to make believe they are similar to you. They always take the words that other people say and use it for their harmful extremism. Just like the word woke and all this other stuff. Um, so I was looking for something. I know I had asked, like, how can you tell the difference between someone that's really telling the truth, or someone's that's faking it, that is an extremist, to say, well, this is my truth, you know? Um, and I had some role playing scenarios, for practicing these type of conversations with people like that. Um, mm, I don't really want to go into that right now. I think I'll, put that in another video, because that would be quite long. Um, and what it's talking about is like examples of harmful language. I'll give a small couple examples. Is like dehumanizing or labeling. Those people are animals, or you're just a snowflake, a sheep, an idiot. We hear this often from those that are narcissistic. They're just dumb. They're dumb. And people got way more qualifications and education than them, and they will call people dumb in a heartbeat. Um, they're all the same, something like that. Um, these type of things are so harmful because it just shuts down empathy. I don't understand their perspective yet, but I'd like to learn more. They would never ever say something like that. It's their way or the highway. Some other things like shaming or blaming. You're the reason this is a good one. You're the reason everything is messed up. Always blaming somebody for something. Like the world is going to hell in the breadbasket because of you. If you cared, you'd agree with me. Why does everybody have to agree with them? You know? These are extreme behaviors and harmful language. Um, you don't know what you're talking about. That's just stupid. No one cares about your opinion. Oh my God, these are some things I've heard on a regular basis. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. But I wanted to try this live thing out on my own today because I want to do more lives. And by doing it this way, I can, like I said, do other things while I talk and run my mouth, babble, babble, babble on. And and that's it. I want to try it, and I did. And going to get ready and get out of here. And nope, I'm not going to the gym, but I'll get up and go walk after I drink my coffee and my water. All right, y'all. Peace. Have a good day.